Okay, so here I am again. Obviously, this will probably be part two because I'm just obviously not done talking. Um, but yeah, so like, okay, I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. For those who know me, yes, I did gain a little bit of weight from being in prison. And apparently, I'm the only one judging myself right now because I'm the one that brought it up. So it's always in my head, because I've pretty much been fit my whole life. There's only a couple other times I've gotten to this weight. And yeah, it does affect me. I ain't gonna lie, like, I don't like it. So, anyways, so where was I at? I was talking about Jesus and stuff like that. Um, the concept of it is more of an energy, it's more of a feeling. It's more of a being in alignment with who you are. Also, when you're in an alignment with who you are, you don't need one of these. So that just goes to show, I'm not 100% pure and perfect. Like, when I had that spiritual awakening, I was there. I can tell you I was 100% in that stream and flow of life. And dude, if I could give everybody that, you would change you. You would never be the same. You would live a phenomenal life and you would be inspired and you would be, because some people say, well, Cassie, I want to be as positive as you. Well, dude, like, if I gave you that experience, you wouldn't be able to unsee that. Like, you wouldn't be able to unfeel that or unexperience that. You can lose the connect, but you can never lose what you felt in that moment, ever. With a spiritual awakening, there's no way. You're always going to remember that because it was the most freeing, most liberating, most pure feeling you could ever feel. And there's no words. Okay? It's ineffable. There are no words to describe it. You literally feel like you're living on heaven on earth in a pure bliss. Everything goes perfect. I promise you, everything goes perfect. There is nothing wrong ever. Nothing irritates you. Nothing gets in that's negative. You feel like everything's perfect for a while until you disconnect it somehow or you fall out of alignment with it. And that's why people are like, Cassie, you're crazy. That's not sustainable. Like, you can't live your whole life like that. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. That's a discouraging statement, don't you think? Like, you can't live your whole life happy. Oh, okay. Like, even some people, like, I'm sorry, but even some people that, I talk to that are higher up on the positive realm, like people that are at meetings and stuff like that, it's not to say they're wrong, because I will speak on that. But if you experience what I experienced in that moment, and I was completely sober, that's the truth. And you were the one that disconnected it because you relapsed. Okay? With that being said, had I not relapsed, it would have been something that would have flowed through me continuously, And that's why I beat myself up for it. But but also I will give credit for the part of, well, you can't be on the spiritual high all the time. Okay, yeah. Essentially, yes, they are right in that aspect because I do need balance. Because I don't, when I get spiritually enlightened, which if we weren't the ones who set up work in the first place and we set up all these guidelines, I could do that. I could be spiritually enlightened and sit in a park all day and drink water and breathe air and take in sunlight. Like, that's how I feel when I feel enlightened. That's all I want to do. That's the only thing you want to do. You don't feel forced to do it. You're just like, dude, it's just pure light energy, and it just is amazing. But we set up all these things. Okay, so it's almost like you kind of gotta drop down a little bit. So now I am kind of glad in some aspects that I'm not completely spiritually high right now, because I wouldn't want to work, or I wouldn't have the ambition, or not because to me, I want to do something with purpose, with meaning. Okay, well, Cassie, that's going to take time, because we are the ones who set up the world like this. With work and government and all this, and you got to go through all these things. So if I want to get financially free and I want to live up to my purpose, my dreams, goals, and visions, which is a big goal and a big vision that I don't know how is going to come true, because my mentors told me to set a goal that you have no idea how you're going to achieve it. Okay, well, what does that mean to me? That means public speaking, speaking around, I was going to say world. I don't know if that part will happen, or at least around the United States, kind of like flying around and speaking at different places. also being an author, and being like a public figure and being financially free. That's the vision. That's the goal. That's the ultimate thing. Do I have any idea how I'm going to accomplish that? No. I have no idea. All I know is that each day I can envision that and see that and hold that in my heart and slowly work towards that. As in doing the YouTube, getting out there and talking, like what I'm doing right now. Journaling, this is part of the book, that's that I'm doing. And I know I talked about a book before. Things change, and I feel like this is more of this one actually happened naturally. I feel like the book was writing before was more of a not force, but it was more of a self-help book. And I wrote it at a point where there's some good stuff, there's some good information. Anyway, you know what? It honestly doesn't matter. It's the past. We're in the here and now, and this is more of an inspired thing that kind of just flowed right into my lap. So it's to me, if you pay attention to the signs and you listen to what I listen to, I'm on the right track with it. So I'm just going to keep it and leave it and not rush it. It's just, I'm going to let things just flow. And when it tells me to stop, I'm going to stop. And then when it tells me, okay, get on and type it, I'm going to type it. And then when I get to the book cover, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? No, I'm not going to be slow about it, but I'm not going to be forced about it. Does that make sense? I'm following intuition and guidance, like the flow of life. You dig it? So it's that's kind of where I'm at. So obviously I got a little bit off track and I got off the Jesus and God thing, but I think you get the point on that. We don't need to find out, get closer to who you are, whatever that means. But the thing about it is you have to want it bad enough to continue on this path. To me, I don't see a point in living miserably because I already understand how the law of attraction works. And it's not like we go set out, like Abraham Hicks says, we don't go set out every day and say, I'm going to test the law of gravity today. It's just, the law of attraction just exists. That's just what it is. It's a universal law, just like gravity. But now we got all these things on it, the law of attraction, speak about it, bring about it, So it's this is something already in place. This is something that should actually honestly be common sense. If you wake up in a bad attitude and a bad demeanor, of course you're going to stub your toe. Of course you're going to run into the wrong person. Of course you're going to get behind that slow driver that always makes you mad. Because that's what you're holding in your vibration, your energy. That's what you're holding in your feeling. That's what I mean by that. So isn't it equally ironic that when you're in a good mood and a good flow that everything's going good? It's not ironic. It works every time with every person. Just pay attention. Look around. It's everywhere. The law of attraction's everywhere. But we see it as it's this thing I got to go out and practice. I mean, yeah, you do once you start to hear about it and learn about it. But then once you've gotten far enough, you realize that it's just an inevitable... Holy cow, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's an inevitable process, just like gravity. If you jump off a building, you're going to hit the ground. If you stub your toe out of bed and hold that in your negative vibration, you're going to run into the wrong person. You're going to maybe get into an accident. You're going to, whatever the case is. I mean, on and on it goes. But it's interesting. Life becomes more interesting and not so dull when you can start to just tap into this sort of way of thinking. And I have more understanding, more patience, more everything. Patience is a hard one. That's probably my biggest one I've ever need to work on and continuously work on. But I'm just grateful where I'm at, and right now now I brought up patience, and now I gotta talk about it real quick, because I don't want this to go past 10 minutes for part 2. It's gonna take some time to get to where I want to be, and I know that. I'm just really passionate about my dreams, and what I feel, and what I think is my purpose. You know what? Maybe that could change. Everything can change. Anything can change. That's what people don't get either. At a rapid rate, tomorrow something could happen that's severe that can change me for the good or for the bad again, and then I detour again, but then anyways, it's in alignment for where I was supposed to be anyways. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how life works. When you start to get your mind on the spectrum, it's impossible to get it off because it makes too much sense, and it's the easiest resonating, free-flowing feeling you could ever feel. So it's that's why I'm obsessed with it. People wonder why I'm always getting on talking about this stuff. Because you can't unsee it. You can't unexperience it, and you can't unfeel it. It's an illusion. Once you see it, you're not going to unsee it. Okay? It's going to be stuck with you forever. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Anyways, I love you guys. Peace.